Yo guys, what is up and welcome back to the channel. It is JRob here with Team Energy Golf Clash. Happy 4th of July. I hope you guys are out there celebrating with some fireworks and some booms and some bangs just like we do here in Golf Clash. But as some of you guys may have noticed, we are switching it up here a little bit with a par 3's guide for Greenoch Point in this game set match tournament. So here in our community section, we may be running polls each week that you're going to find to cover one of the three pars a little bit more in depth. So either par 3's, par 4's, or par 5's for that course in that week for the tournament. We may be making a separate video to cover those a little bit more in depth, and that's what I'm going to be trying to start to do here a little bit on the YouTube channel. Now, we will still have our normal tournament guide and walkthrough videos for pro and expert division or rookie division, whichever we're feeling that week, as I do jump around sometimes and cover different tee boxes. But nonetheless, there is always going to be some content coming here for Golf Clash on the YouTube channel, so make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, especially if you're new. Like the video before we get started, and let's jump on into the par 3 guide this week for Greenoch Point. Let's get it rolling. Alright guys, what is up? We're going to kick it off here with hole number 1, par 3 for Greenoch Point in the game set match tournament. So for hole number 1, we're going to be trying to go for a rough bump. Now, there are other ways that you can potentially play this hole, but this is the absolute best way at being able to nail the hole-in-one from various different wind angles. So what we're going to do here is use roughly 2.5 to 2.75 bars of left-hand side spin, and we're going to match that with backspin. We're going to be using about 2.5 backspin. If you have a headwind, we're going to lighten up on that just a slight little bit. If we have a tailwind, you're going to add a slight little bit. So you're going to be at about 2.8 bars of backspin instead. We're looking to hit that rough patch and angle straight in towards the pin. Now we're going to be showing you guys the adjustments and the calculations that we're using on the left-hand side of the screen there, so you guys can see what we're actually, the numbers that we're actually using and how you're going to be able to land this shot. Now, we're not going to be adjusting perfectly every single time because, if we could all adjust perfect every single time, we'd be dropping every single ball we'd ever shot. So that's why we're doing this. So here, we're looking for our red ring to be very close to the bunker line in the rough line on our left-hand side. Once you get in about this location here, you're in about the right spot. You get over to about 2.5 left-hand side spin, and you're going to see your line start to click left and click right a little bit more if you hit a certain location. Now, you want to be just to the right of that location. And as we make our adjustment here, you guys can see we're playing at mid-distance, 50% elevation, or 50% slider here with 10% in elevation. With a 10.5 miles per hour wind, that's going to make a 10.1 ring adjustment there with the wind that we have and the elevation and the power to ball. So that all factors in with our equation here to make us adjust our ball correctly here for the target and the location that we're trying to hit. So the rough bump is going to be our best location here at actually nailing the hole-in-one. So that's why we're trying our best here to dial it in, and it works the best in all wind scenarios. You may want to bump up maybe to the rock, but definitely keep in mind that your numbers are going to change if you do use the rock to get a little bit of a distance. Say you have a drastic headwind that's coming back at you. You may want to bump up a power and ball, use a power 3 and a headwind, because if you have like a 10 point, around 10.0 miles per hour wind as a headwind, if you have a power 2 ball, you may run into using overpower, which isn't going to be the best scenario. But if we have a crosswind or a tailwind here, perfect. Power 2 ball or wind ball here would be fine. 10% elevation, power 2 ball, 50% slider here, and we're going to be making an 8.0 ring adjustment here for our 8.3 miles per hour wind. 2.75 bars of left-hand side spin here, and around 2.6 backspin. Very, very close, just burning the left edge there. So it's going to be a very great hole there at being able to snag this hole in one. So I definitely wish you guys the best of luck there on hole number 1, par 3 for Greenoch Point. Alright though guys, that's going to bring us right on over to hole number 6, par 3, the second of the par 3s that we are going to be covering here today. So, we're going to be going with the left-hand side option here first because it is one of my favorite options. Gives you a lot more fairway to work with over here, and if you're wanting to use your driver, it is a very good approach. You're not really worrying about going in the bunker or the rough line on the right-hand side, or using any overpower with your sniper over here on the left, and it's a very good opportunity. So we're going to be using about 3 bars of right-hand side spin and about 6 bars of backspin here. Now, we're using true minimum distance here on our actual calculation, so 0% slider. We're playing this shot here with a power 2 ball, 40% in elevation, and we're going to be making a 10.7 ring adjustment here with a 9.7 miles per hour wind. Now this is essentially funneling us right down and around, straight in at the pin, just burning that front edge there, as we're very, very close at landing a hole in one. Now, that's going to be one of the better opportunities that we really do have to land the hole in one on this course, or on this hole. Looks, it's going to look very good with a crosswind or a headwind there. If we do have a tailwind angle, that shot's probably going to be off the books, and we may have to go with this right-hand side approach here with our sniper. Now, very awesome shot here from my opponent. I decided to use one of his clips just to give him a little bit of props here. But this shot on the right-hand side, we're going to be playing this at 35% in elevation. Power 3 ball, using just a couple bars of backspin and a little bit of side spin there to cheat us in towards the pin. Roughly a little bit more than a bar of side spin there, and about a bar of backspin usually if we have that tailwind to kind of push us towards the pin. But as you guys can see there, if you make a nice adjustment on that shot, it's going to be a great opportunity at kind of funneling you in from either side, and that's really the ideal shot there, is to snag that little lip and to help funnel yourself right down in towards the pin. Now, we're going to jump back over here to the left-hand side, and we're going to show you another approach if you do have that tailwind and you don't like that right-hand side approach, because I know that there is, the bunker and the rough line that you're kind of flirting with over there, and you may not have, a power 3 ball or whatever that you're trying to use. So you can replicate this shot here with a power 2 ball, but you will have to use just a slight little bit of more right hand curl to help compensate a little bit for your lack of top or side spin. Now, we're playing this here at 20% in elevation, so definitely do keep in mind, no matter where you do play on this course, it's one of those courses that has different elevations for the shots that you're going to be taking. So 20% here at max distance, 100% on our slider, 10.1 miles per hour wind there at a 12.2 ring adjustment, and we come in there smacking right off the pin. Such a disappointment there, just a hair too fast to drop. So what we're going to have to do there is add just that slight little bit of more backspin, and we're going to have to try to cheat it up and a little bit to the left, so that adding that little bit of backspin is going to slow us down that little bit, but usually that would break us in more. So we're going to have to bring it out further to the left so it funnels in. Alright guys, that's going to bring us on over to the last of the par 3s that we have here today in the par 3s guide for Greenoch Point here in the game set match tournament. So there's a variety of different ways here that we can actually tackle this particular par 3, and we're going to go over a couple different options that you guys can kind of mess around with and try to dial yourself in here. But the first approach that we're actually going to be attempting to go with here is going to be our rock quarterback method, and those two are going to be kind of combined. Now, I don't have one with the quarterback here on this particular approach, but your numbers and your distance is obviously going to be a lot different from the numbers that we're using here. Now, on this first shot here, we're going to be playing this mid-distance, 50% slider, power 3 ball, plus 10% in elevation, 7.1 miles per hour wind, and a 7.2 ring adjustment. Now you guys can see how we came up and around that fringe line. Now that's what we're looking for. That's the ideal shot attempt there that we're going for. What we needed to actually land the hole-in-one on that opportunity was a little bit more curl to the right and a little bit more topspin. So what we're doing is pulling our target back so we can find the location where that darker shade is on the left-hand side of, the little half pipe fairway that we have to work with here. So where the shade starts to come into a back triangle, what we want to do is put our target up on the top hand half of that quarter pipe, about a ring and a half, 2 rings down below, and we're using 3 bars of right hand side spin and roughly 3 bars of top spin, 2.6 to 3.5, anywhere in there, and you may even find yourself using a little bit more than that. But keep in mind that the more topspin you use, the more curl you're going to have to use to the right. Now the APOC extra mile method, and those two are going to be paired, is different. As you guys can see there, we're going to be bringing that in through the top part of the funnel, trying to bring that down essentially through the middle funnel line and straight in at the pin. Now he needed a little bit more curl there on his shot and a little bit more topspin as well, and he probably would have been out of, finding himself closer to that funnel line. Dog's going crazy there. But nonetheless, it's going to be a very good opportunity for you guys either way. So the rock method is really what I would recommend going with, and is what I find is best, because like I said, we can pull that back on this shadowy little line on this little half pipe fairway over here, and you can see where we're looking for. We're aiming for that corner, fringe line to hook us around. And like I said, the more topspin, the more curl that we need to the right. So keep that in mind. But this is what we're looking for essentially here. 50% slider, power 2 ball, plus 10% in elevation. We have a 9.6 miles per hour wind here. So we're going to be moving this at 9.5 miles per hour. Sorry, my pop filter just fell off here. But essentially, we're trying to hook right around that fringe line with quite a bit of speed so that it shoots us right down at the pin. What we're looking for there is that line to literally come and shoot right around the fringe line, and it's gonna gain a little bit more speed and kind of right down towards the pin. So we have another good approach here with the extra mile, but it's going to be harder to find your actual funnel line and have the ball guide to the pin on your extra mile in your APOC, and it's going to be a lot harder to adjust and really hit that exact location that you're looking for. You know what I mean? So on this particular shot though, he plays this with a little bit of overpower, which in my opinion he probably shouldn't have. It might have been a little bit better if he didn't. He may have landed this. Probably played it with just a hair too much. But 41% slider there, power 1 ball, 5.1 ring adjustment there, coming in just shy of the pin. So a little bit more curl there, and he would have probably been very, a lot closer. Probably would have landed it. But nonetheless, guys, that's going to be essentially the wrap up there. The extra mile approach, you're going to be playing with 3 bars right hand side spin, about a bar and a half of top spin, and just a little bit higher up as far as distance, and that's going to be the only thing that's really going to change. But alright though, guys, that's going to be the wrap up for the par 3's guide for the game set match tournament. I really hope that this helped you guys out. Thank you guys for being here and watching the video. Let me know if you guys like these videos and think that we should dial in a little bit more on some of the par 3's, 4's, and 5's each week in the tournaments. Check our community tab. We'll definitely have different polls running through there that you guys can check out and stuff, and see which which pars that we're trying to go for that week and what's up. If you guys are wanting to, you can check all the links down in the description as well. We have groups on Facebook and stuff that we'd love to have you guys in. It would be awesome. But nonetheless, thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate it. Won't take up any more of your guys' time. There is going to be a guide for the tournament, a full in-depth guide and walkthrough coming a little bit later on tonight or tomorrow morning. So keep in mind that is coming as well. But hit that subscribe button if you're new. Smash that like button on your way out, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.